r/ask Reddit. What kind gesture actually annoys you? Waving me on at a stop sign when they clearly have the right of way. 90% of the time you end up sitting there in confusion, wondering why they won't go longer than it would have taken them to just clear the goddamn intersection. And then, since it's been so long, you start driving into the intersection at the exact same time they decide to drive into the intersection. So now you have to hit the brakes and start the process over. Edit. Brakes not brakes. Not telling me something to protect me drives me crazy. My mom just had an overnight stay in the hospital and kept it from me. Nothing ended up being wrong, thank God, but they wanted to keep her because of family history. She told me after she was released and couldn't seem to figure out why I was so upset. Or blowing something serious off as no big deal because they are trying to calm you. Holding the door for me but from the inside of the door frame, so I have to scoot by them butt to crotch style. Edit. My first silver. Thank you. You must go butt to crotch as well, comrade. Edit 2. I'm not worthy. I go crotch to crotch while making eye contact. Dominance asserted. Edit. Thanks for the silver, kind friends. I'd go crotch to crotch with each of you. I go butt to butt so we don't even have to look at each other. When passengers offer to give directions and basically force others to not use the GPS, and then they don't even give the directions properly, like they get distracted and then tell others at the last possible second to dive bomb a turn because they were in the wrong lane to begin with. When I'm driving and someone is giving me directions, I always say, alright, where do I turn next? He'll let you know when we get close. No, you'll let me know now. Also help me, he'll get GPS involved. If you don't drive, you have no intuition at all for when directions are needed. Well, that was an unexpected RIP inbox. Ducking up the flow at an intersection by not taking your turn and flagging others through. Edit. Wow, thanks for the gold. I really hit on a hot topic. Edit. A silver and platinum too. I feel like the only girl at the gangbang. Drive correctly, not politely. I've always heard it be predictable, not kind while driving. If you don't merge in zipper fashion, you're dead to us all. Letting 3 cars in to be polite completely disrupts the flow. Going off this, you only need to do a few good deeds a day while driving. If you stop to let someone in at every single intersection, the people behind you will get annoyed. Yep, it's not only the intentions but also the broader effects. I'm starting to count to 5 to see if people are taking the space I'm leaving for them before closing up. Edit. For regular merges, not where a lane drops due to construction or whatever. When store associates come up to me 2 seconds after I've walked into the store asking if I am finding everything okay. At my store we're required. It sucks for us too, but we get secret shopped each month and get written up if we fail. Yeah, we hate it as much as you do. We don't think you're incapable of finding stuff on your own. We just have to ask and we're sorry. Edit. You/my dongus averages eyes put it perfectly. I work in a very busy retail store, so we don't really know if a customer has been approached yet or needs our help. Some people are really weirdo. They stand by the product they want and refuse to ask for help. There will be plenty of available sales reps, but they just stand there getting madder and madder, then write us a negative review because nobody approached them. People are weird. Breaking the order of how things should move in order to give someone the ability to go first. Now you are just confusing people and wasting time. Be predictable. My college campus had one area that was super busy with both foot traffic and bicycles, and I saw several people get hit by bikes because they were trying to be polite, when really they just needed to be predictable. When people try to be helpful by grabbing heavy items I'm carrying out of my arms without asking me first, I appreciate the sentiment, but it throws off the balance of all the other heavy objects in my arms. This is how you get an entire tray of food or drinks spilled on you at a restaurant. It astounds me that I see people make the attempt. One time I was dropping food off to a pretty well-off family at a nice restaurant. The dad went to grab a drink off the tray and I grabbed his wrist with my other hand and looked in his eyes and said, "Don't ever do that." They didn't tip me great, but the justice boner was worth it. Sympathetic Valentine's Day cards. The only thing worse than knowing that no one is attracted to me is knowing that someone pities me. Not having anyone be attracted to me is fairly easy to live with. Being pitied puts a dent my self-pride. I didn't know that was a thing honestly. Thinking of you and your singleness on this difficult day, you are in our prayers. So I walk with a cane and I can't lift much. However, when I'm insisting that I can do a particularly small thing, it really upsets me when people insist on doing it for me anyway. It makes me feel weaker and embarrassed. Seriously, offer people with handicaps help. Of course, please do that. But if they are insisting that they are fine, then please let them do that thing they are capable of. For me, it makes me feel just a little bit more empowered. Also, thank you for your kindness. I don't mean to diminish it or seem ungrateful. I work with people with various disabilities, and one of the things that was covered in training was that you can actually cause harm by doing seemingly nice things like grabbing hold of a door that someone is in the process of opening. That person has made decisions based on their knowledge of their body and balance when starting to open the door. By grabbing hold of the door, you can upset their balance and cause a fall. Never assume you're helping. Always ask first. This has happened to me several times, usually at home though. For instance, I'll hold the screen door open and will put part of my weight on it while trying to open the real door, and my husband will come up behind me to help by holding the screen door. Poor guy didn't realize I was bearing weight there while using the cane hand to fumble with the keys. I fell twice before it stuck. I didn't get hurt, but I felt so bad that he felt bad. Being thanked for my service when people find out I'm in the military. I'm a subpar Marine and have done nothing noteworthy. Edit. Thanks for the gold and the silver. I've heard this from lots of military members. My favorite was an ex-Air Force member who said, "I don't know why anyone thanked me. I literally sat behind a computer for years in the US, doing work that had literally no impact on our freedom. My uncle did shit all in South Korea except get drunk and tattooed, so when I see veterans I mostly just smile at them like I do anyone else." One time though, my little brother asked my uncle if he'd killed anyone while he was cleaning his gun, and my uncle said, "Don't you ever ask anyone that. You'll get beat. But because you didn't know, I'll tell you. I went to South Korea and got drunk and tattooed, and I didn't kill nobody there. Now shut up and let me clean my gun." When people feel compelled to eat with me if I'm eating alone. Where did this notion come from that it's sad to eat alone? I like it. It's peaceful. I was in my work canteen a little while ago at the very edge of a row of tables, completely alone. Maybe 24 seats, all empty, plus more empty tables and sofas in the room. I was reading a book. Two colleagues whose names I don't even know came in, sat right in front of me and didn't say a word to me or each other. I was so uncomfortable. I know the feeling. I was eating at a Burger King once and the whole place was empty except for me. Some older lady came in, got her food, then sat right next to me in my booth instead of one of the 30 other seats available. She didn't say anything either, just ate. It was very awkward. Receiving birthday or Christmas gift from loose acquaintance, thus creating cycle of guilt or undesired effort. Maybe that loose acquaintance is just trying to make that jump from loose acquaintance to friend. A lot of them are low effort gifts they give out of feeling obligated. Some families give so many gifts they feel it's expected by nearly everyone. I for one feel awkward accepting gifts from anybody but my parents in Christmas. When someone is walking behind me and they push the button to make the automatic door open right as I'm trying to go through it. Thanks. Now I have to wait while this slow ass door opens when I could have just quickly opened it myself. I work in a large office with push button doors for disabled people. I have no problem manually opening doors. It seems kind of basic to me. 99% of the people on this campus will push the button to automatically open the doors, creating that exact annoying situation. My thought every time inside is, you can't open a door. I just saw you jog across the parking lot. There are a set of doors at my university that I will use the push button for simply because the door is so difficult to open because of the ancient door opening motor. One time a mystery neighbor salted my steps. The steps really didn't need it. I had removed any snow ice with a shovel, but the salt, which I initially didn't realize was there, hurt my dog's paws. Also, a guy at work wanted to help by scraping the snow off my car. He didn't just do my windshield. He did the hood too and scratched the duck out of it with his scraper. Lastly, I have a beautiful, Long, bluestone driveway. Neighbor's boyfriend wanted to help by plowing it. He ended up dumping a bunch of the stones across the street. TL. Doctor, please leave me alone when it snows. I need to know. Are you hot? Visibly disabled? Where do these fairies come from that do magical things for you? Second edit woe double silver. Curtsies. Thank you kind strangers. I do believe in fairies. I do. To answer your question adequately, 37-year-old widow, and I suppose objectively attractive. I'm not my type. Your comment made me laugh yo. People being given pets as a surprise gift for Christmas or a birthday. I'm sure many of them will have a good home nonetheless, but some of them will end up in situations that are not fully thought out with people who may not be up to the task of being a responsible pet owner because they either never had a say in it or view pets as toys. The way I see it, if it's already well established that the receiver can, will, and wants to take on the responsibility, aka they have been asking for it and proven themselves responsible, then yes, by all means a pet can be a great gift. But even then I would say take the person to choose their new friend and don't just hand them an animal you picked randomly. My parents did this when I was a kid and wanted a pet mouse. They gave me the cage food etc. as my birthday gift. Then took me to the pet store to pick out my Matthias. Worked out great except my parents hated having a mouse in the house and would stay locked in their room when I took him out of the cage lol. Did you name your mouse after the Red Wall character? When you're the quiet one in a group and somebody points out in front of everyone. Edit. Wow, didn't expect this to blow up. Thanks for the gold strangers. Why are you being so quiet? Come in. Pipe up. We don't bite. Me. I'm fine listening until I have something to add them. He speaks. Row. Duck off. Ass. People saying these are about your size aren't they? And giving me a big bag of clothes. Like yeah. Thanks mum but nothing is my style and now I'm stuck with a big bag of stuff you should have taken to the charity shop. Not to mention the guilt that some people can create with this. Oh I don't wear that blouse I gave you. I've actually had the situation of making myself wear one of my mum's tops to a family event because I thought she'd be happy and have her text me afterwards suggesting I dressed a little less frumpy. I absolutely hate being asked how was your weekend every single Monday in the office for the rest of eternity. My go-to response, good, proceeds to look back at my computer screen and furrow my brow to make it look like I'm in deep thought. People making the suicide gap during heavy traffic. I can't see past your ducking truck or van and I'm not about to stick my car into an active lane that isn't slowing down. Your lane may be stopped but the lane next to you is rolling on and people who give me that WTF look piss me off to no end. This bullshit is how accidents happen, just keep moving and I'll wait until I have a clear line of sight to go and not rely on you waving me through to my death. Edit. I understand some people are still confused so I'll describe it better. This gap only applies to non-highway roads and for Europeans the US has dedicated lanes that only allow for right turns at the intersection. However a lot of these right turn lanes start a block or two away and people will move into the lane as soon as it opens up, which means people will be speeding down the lane to get to the intersection to turn right. Of course this means that they won't be able to see past the vehicles and of course someone will use the opportunity to gun it into the plaza. Of course this gap is perfectly fine to leave open if all lanes are backed up and all lanes are stopped. Another big issue with these gaps is that a lot of the time people will move into the lanes so their vehicles are sideways onto the stopped lanes but are then waiting for the other lane to clear before going, which means they are now blocking two lanes of traffic and waiting for the third turning lane to be clear, which will cause even more headaches for everyone involved. Traffic can no longer flow even if the light is green because they've created a roadblock with their vehicles. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content bruh. It's free and that's a great price.